In the ever-shifting world of Port Charles, every storm leaves behind debris, but sometimes the damage is less physical and more psychological, weaving into the fragile fabric of family, loyalty, and vengeance. The latest shocking twist in General Hospital comes in the form of Drew Cain's shooting, a violent act that has shaken the community to its core and exposed dangerous fractures in relationships already strained by betrayal and ambition. What makes this storyline compelling is not just the mystery of who pulled the trigger, but the possibility that the person closest to Drew's longtime rival may now be implicated in his downfall. And at the center of this tangled web stands Nina Reeves, a woman forever torn between her ruthless instincts and her desperate need to protect her daughter, Willow Tate. The night of Drew's shooting carries an eerie weight, the kind of atmosphere that Port Charles viewers know never ends with calm. Drew had been a divisive figure in town, balancing his political power plays with a deeply personal feud involving custody battles, betrayals, and vendettas. As investigators Dante Falconeri and Anna Devane arrive at the crime scene, the scope of the case quickly widens. Drew is not just a victim of random violence, but a man surrounded by a long list of enemies, each with a reason to want him silenced. The stormy weather that night seems almost symbolic, rain lashing against windows as secrets, motives, and lies threaten to spill over. The PCPD interrogation room quickly becomes a revolving door for suspects, and the tension is palpable. Harrison Chase joins Anna in dissecting every alibi, forcing nervous residents of Port Charles to defend their innocence. Some suspects wear their anger openly, while others struggle to keep their composure, betraying cracks in their stories. In soap opera tradition, the shooting is less about a single bullet and more about the ripple effect it creates. Alliances shift, loyalties are questioned, and the truth becomes harder to separate from calculated deception. Even if Drew survives, the attempt on his life sets off a chain of consequences that no one can escape. The most shocking possibility emerging from the investigation is Willow's involvement. She has long been painted as the gentle heart of Port Charles, a woman defined by her love for her children and her desperate fight to shield them from chaos. But desperation breeds recklessness, and the death of Judge Eva Heron has already destroyed Willow's hopes of regaining custody through the courts. Drew's political influence and his cold maneuvers have made him an obstacle she cannot overcome. When desperation intersects with opportunity, on a dark, rainy night, viewers are forced to ask, could Willow have crossed a line she can never return from? If Willow is indeed implicated, it is her mother, Nina, who becomes the wild card. Nina has built her life on lies and cover-ups, always believing that her sharp instincts and fierce devotion to family justify any crime she commits. Once before, Alexis Davis faced a similar situation when she found a gun in Christina's purse and, panicked, hurled it over an overpass. That moment of maternal instinct echoed loudly through Port Charles. Now, Nina may be standing at the same crossroads. If she discovers evidence, a gun, bloodied clothing, or anything that ties Willow to Drew's shooting, would she protect the law or protect her daughter? For Nina, there may not even be a question. She has lost too much to risk losing Willow now. Destroying evidence, hiding weapons, and burying the truth may become her only way forward. But Nina's motives are never simple. Just as easily as she could be covering for Willow, she could be shielding herself. Did Nina orchestrate a plan to take Drew down herself, fearing he might expose her secrets or destroy the fragile piece she has managed to claw together? The ambiguity is deliberate. Whether Nina is acting as protector or as self-preservationist, the end result looks the same to the outside world. Evidence vanishes, questions go unanswered, and the mystery deepens. The storm that night also adds a haunting visual thread to the story. Weekly previews show Willow with damp hair, her appearance suggesting she was out in the rain when Drew was shot. It's a subtle but damning clue, one that raises suspicions even before words are spoken. Elizabeth Baldwin notices Willow's absence during her hospital shift and questions her, planting further doubt about where she really was. Lies, even small ones, have a way of festering in Port Charles, and Willow's quiet demeanor may no longer be enough to mask the turmoil underneath. If she is hiding something, Elizabeth's probing could bring it to light. Meanwhile, the larger Port Charles canvas shifts around this central mystery. Alexis's past actions with Christina's gun serve as a chilling parallel. Sonny's influence looms in the background, as every violent act in town somehow intersects with his world. Anna, hardened by years of espionage and betrayal, struggles to balance her empathy with her duty as she closes in on suspects who are not faceless criminals, but friends, neighbors, and family members. The lines between justice and vengeance blur, forcing every character to question what they would sacrifice to protect the people they love. The writers have also left enough ambiguity to keep the storyline alive for weeks, if not months. If Drew survives, his accusations, conscious or unconscious, could alter the trajectory of the investigation. If he dies, his absence creates a vacuum that shifts power and influence in Port Charles. Either way, the consequences reach beyond Nina and Willow. Carly Spencer, forever entangled in Drew's life, will be drawn into the fallout. Michael Corinthos, caught between loyalty to Willow and distrust of Nina, could find himself forced to choose sides in a war where no one is truly innocent. The brilliance of this arc lies in its layered moral dilemmas. It is not simply about who pulled the trigger, but about how far people will go when driven by desperation, fear, and love. Willow's potential guilt shakes the foundation of her identity. Nina's decision to cover up or confess becomes not just about her daughter's freedom but about her own redemption or damnation. Drew's fate, alive or dead, becomes less important than the truth his shooting forces everyone to face. In Port Charles, every act of violence is personal, every secret has a cost, and every cover-up eventually unravels. As the mystery unfolds, one truth becomes undeniable. General Hospital has once again crafted a storm that is not just meteorological but emotional, one that leaves no character untouched. Whether Willow is guilty, Nina is complicit, or an entirely different hand fired the gun, the fallout ensures weeks of gripping television. Each clue, each interrogation, each betrayal adds fuel to a fire that threatens to consume families, friendships, and fragile alliances. Port Charles thrives on chaos, but this time, chaos may come from within the very people who claim to value love above all else. And when love turns into desperation, bullets tend to follow. The path forward is clear only in its uncertainty. Nina will take risks, Willow may harbor secrets, and Drew's fate hangs precariously in the balance. But in true soap opera fashion, the answers will not come easily, and when they do, they may only raise more questions. Because in Port Charles, survival is never just about living, it is about protecting what you love, no matter the cost. Would you like me to extend this article further into a part 2, where I explore the potential fallout for Carly, Michael, and Sunny if Willow is revealed as the shooter and Nina is caught covering it up? That could bring us closer to the 10,000 character target with added dramatic depth.